Welcome to r/RedditRevenge. This is a story of someone getting back at someone with revenge after being wronged. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story: workers came to my house without my knowledge. I sent them back. The second story: assistant director snitching on me. She was fired after my notes about her being late. The third story: mall's landlord disconnected the car from the power supply, and the manager could not return home. The first story is petty revenge with more petty revenge as an encore. A little backstory is needed. Years ago, I worked as a software development consultant, which is to say I handled all aspects of a software project, from design and development to implementation and training. I did most of my work at the client's office, but as a consultant I could set my own schedule, and sometimes I'd work from home if I needed the quiet to focus and avoid interruptions. I was working in a small town in Missouri for an electronics manufacturer. Let's call it XYZ Electronics. Relevant later. I was originally asked to upgrade some software I'd written for them 3 years prior. It was supposed to be a 2 to 4 week engagement, but the project expanded, and I ended up staying for 4 years. In the third month or so, I moved into a duplex right next to a huge park. The duplex was owned by this older lady, but managed by a realty company, so I never see the owner. Let's call the management company Smith Rental Company, and the owner Mrs. B. I'm there for almost a year when these events take place, by which time I have a nice vegetable garden going in the backyard. So here's the story. One morning I'm working from home and my dog starts barking at the sliding glass door that opens to the backyard. He's a blue heeler and never barks at the back door. There's nothing out there to see. Privacy fence blocks the view from his level. So I go take a look and there's 2 yahoos, Yahoo A and Yahoo B, standing in my backyard, fence gate wide open. So I scoot past my dog and go out there to investigate. Conversation goes something like this. Me: who are you? Yahoo A: we work for Mrs. B. Me: what are you doing here? Yahoo A: she wants us to paint the house. Me: so you just walk into my backyard without talking to me first? Why didn't you knock on the front door? Yahoo A: we have permission from the owner. Me: you don't see anything wrong with coming into a private residence without notice? Yahoo A: the owner wants the house painted. This is our job. Me: and you're planning on painting it today? Yahoo A: yeah. Me: not happening. Obviously, I'm peeved off by their dismissive attitude. In my rental contract, if not by law, I'm supposed to get 24-hour notice of any visits or inspections, including workmen. So I shoo them out of the yard, close the gate, and get the management company on the phone. I call up Smith Rental Company, and after explaining my situation to the receptionist, I get transferred. Who should answer but Mr. Smith, the owner of Smith Rental Company. He hears me out as I explain the situation, and admits the owner didn't notify him either. Then he goes, OP, I think I know you. You work for XYZ, right? Turns out Mr. Smith worked for XYZ during my first engagement at the company, before he left to start his realty company. We weren't really working in the same circles at XYZ, but we knew each other by reputation. With that common ground established, he says he can have them postponed to tomorrow, to give me the notice I'm supposed to have, but beyond that all he can do is apologize. He says he'll make a call to the owner and then call me back. I tell him that's fine. A little respect is all I ask for. I need to get things out of the yard so they don't get tripped over or paint dripped on them. All during the phone call, the yahoos are in my driveway. Yahoo A is leaning on my car while talking on his cell phone. A-hole. 20 minutes later, Mr. Smith calls back and says it's done. The yahoos will come back tomorrow. Be sure to call if there are any more issues, yada yada. Then he adds, he's got 4 guys working for him, so he's not happy about paying them for not working today. I said, if he was less of an a-hole, they would be. Petty revenge encore. The next day, and earlier than the day before, here they come again. Do they knock on the door? Nope. They park on the street and start unloading their tools. Ladders, buckets, brushes, etc., and this long A garden hose. As I'm watching this unfold in the front yard, my dog starts going ape SH at the back door again. Sure enough, there's a guy back there setting up a ladder over the top of my 9-foot-tall big boy tomato plants. It's Yahoo B. It's at this point Yahoo A knocks on the front door. I open it and he's got this smug grin on his face. Yahoo A: we're here to paint the house. Me: did you enjoy your afternoon off? Yahoo A ignoring me. Here's the safety sheet for the cleaner we're gonna use. He hands it to me and walks off. I don't remember now the name of the chemical on the sheet. Trichloro something or other. The dog is still barking like crazy at the back door, So I'm browsing it while walking back to him to calm him down and put him in the garage. But when I get to the back door, I see that Yahoo B has hooked up a hose to my spigot and has already started to spray the house, showering my tomatoes in whatever this chemical is. I scoot past the dog, go outside and turn off my water. Yahoo B on the ladder. Something wrong? Me. Yeah, go get your boss. So off goes YB and brings back YA, who shows up with a what now look on his face. Me. Why are you using my water? YA. What? Me. My water. The water I pay for. Why are you using my water without asking? YA. It's a few pennies worth of water. You really want to raise the stink over a few pennies worth of water? Me. If I reached into your pocket and started fishing out loose change, you'd be okay with it? YA. Oh, for Christ's sake. Me. You see those tomato plants? YA. Yeah? Me. I'm gonna need some time to cover those up. YA. Why? Me. This safety sheet says the chemical you're using shouldn't be ingested. YA. Are you kidding me? Me. Says it right here in black and white. YA. Me. Don't worry, I'll call Smith Realty and explain the situation, so you don't get in trouble with Mrs. B. So I shoo them all out of the backyard again, and I have 5 guys cooling their heels in my driveway. I call up Mr. Smith and explain the situation. He says, how long will it take you to cover your tomato plants? They're 9 feet tall, and I don't have any sheeting on hand for the job, so at least an hour. He says, think an hour will be long enough? You don't want them to come back and you're not done. As I pause, he says slowly, take your time. I smile and say, 6 hours. He says I'll let them know. I said, and remind them they can't use my water. So once again they went away. They came back the next day and finally got started. My plants were covered by that time, and they hooked up the hose to the neighbor's water. I doubt they asked permission though. The next story is, owner's PA keeps snitching on me. Okay, fine. This is all about the owner and his PA. PA is personal assistant. HR is human resources. So I was salary, and as such, I was allowed to come in a bit late sometimes, and leave early, when you let HR know. It was never a concern for anyone but the owner, who only was in the state 2 days a week. HR has asked us to send an email if we were going to be late, and to list why. Not to be disciplined, but just to let them know. This wasn't a problem for me. The PA is supposed to be on site at 8 a.m. with the rest of the office staff. Me, finance, and the PA. The PA was almost never there at 8. Surprise. So it was up to me to unlock the building, since finance didn't have the key. If we were late by like 5 minutes, we didn't need to send an email. Just if we were going to be more than a few minutes behind. Well, one time I was about 10 minutes late, and I had emailed the HR lady and let her know I was going to be late. She said that fine, as PA was already there. So I arrived about 10 minutes late and get to doing my work. I receive an email from the owner saying that I need to be on time every day. My schedule is 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. This was an odd email, so I went to the HR lady who I'm very good friends with. I asked her if she told the owner and she said no. Considering the HR was the only person I told I was going to be late, was HR, I knew it had to be PA, since finance was off that day. Plus he was a chill guy, avoided confrontation when possible. So me and HR wanted to see what the owner had AP doing for him. We didn't like her to begin with and we didn't trust her. HR said to come in late the next day by 30 minutes and not say anything. I came in 30 minutes late, and again I received an email this time tagged HR as well. Me and HR disregarded the email. A few days passed and PA didn't come in till like 9:30. I asked her where she was, as she didn't communicate to me or HR that she wasn't going to be at the office at 8 a.m. This is only important to communicate as I'm an on-call person, and I could have been at the store fixing something at 8 a.m. And no one could open the door for finance, as HR doesn't show up till 10 a.m. She said none of my business. That was not the correct answer. Over the next month, I kept a tally of each time she was late and what time she came in and left. She is salary as well. I sent a good 20 late or early departures to the HR lady who was not happy about this data. Me and PA got pulled into HR office, and HR let me confront PA about her emails and her time punches. She shrugged us off as she was protected by the owner in her words. This didn't sit well with me. The point that pushed me off the edge was that I had to call to take care of at 8 a.m. I had communicated this last night to PA and HR and finance. PA said she would be there. At 9:30, finance calls me and asks me if I'm going to be coming in soon. I told him yes. Sometimes he asks me to get coffee from Dutch Bros for him, which I'm happy to do. He told me that PA wasn't there, any HR isn't going to be there until 10. Needless to say, I was peeved, and called HR on her cell phone, was peeved as I was. Of course, nothing happened to PA. So next time she was late to come in with no notice, I emailed everyone. The office staff, owner, HR, all the district managers, all the assistant district managers, in short, calling out PA and her practices. There was a DM meeting being held that day anyway, and all the DMs talked to me about the email. Turns out PA got a write-up for all the late time and she was fired. I could hear PA crying in the HR office. The owner didn't confront me either, as I had, in a way, called him out on his practices in front of his DMs as well. The last story is, steal electricity? Good luck getting home. So let me begin by saying this is a story of revenge on the part of our strip mall's landlord. A little backstory first. I work for a company that's part of a small strip mall. Located in the strip mall to our immediate left is a pho restaurant, and to the right we have a dental office. Located on the rear of the building between us and the dental office is a maintenance room for the building. Each store manager has a key to this room. Here's the problem. The pho place moved in back in May or so, and since day one the manager's been plugging his Nissan Leaf into an outlet in the maintenance room to charge. The car only has a range of about 90 miles, and he drives over an hour to work, so he has to charge it during the day. This wouldn't be a problem if he was using the electricity they pay for, but he isn't. This has gone mostly unnoticed by our landlord because she's rarely around. That is, however, until last night. To plug his car in, the pho manager had to prop open the door to the maintenance room, and in Iowa, our winters can get fairly brisk. For instance, today the wind chill is a balmy -20. Some equipment in the maintenance room is temperature controlled, and last night the temperature dipped below the acceptable threshold. When our landlord made her way here, however, the car was gone and the door closed. So when she received another temperature warning this morning, she decided to come back. Mr. Pho manager parks his car directly outside our back door, so the cord can reach the maintenance room. So naturally, my day begins with our landlord pounding on our back door and demanding to know who the car belongs to. I kindly informed her that it belongs to the manager of the pho restaurant. When asked why nobody had mentioned it to her, I told her I had just assumed she had approved it. I was told in no uncertain terms that she had not. She then proceeded to ask one of my associates how long this had been going on, to which he responded it had been occurring since they set up shop in May. As you can imagine, she was less than thrilled with this news. She proceeded to thank us for our time and stormed toward the pho restaurant. Now for the revenge. Our landlord proceeded to call me after approximately 20 minutes to inform she had spoken with the pho employees and manager, and nobody seemed to remember who drove the car. To solve the problem, she came up with a simple solution, and unfortunately for them, her pettiness levels are over 9,000. She took their maintenance room key back and proceeded to unplug the charger from his car, finally locking it in her maintenance room. She was kind enough to leave a note telling the owner if they would like to get home, to give her a call. The best part is, since the car takes approximately 8 hours for a full charge, pho manager plugs it in all day. But since it had been unplugged less than an hour after being plugged in, when he goes to leave this evening, he'll not only have to call her to get his charger back, but will have to wait the remaining 7 hours or so for an adequate charge to get home. Hope he didn't have plans. He, pho manager, knocked on our back door and asked if he could borrow our key to the maintenance room. Told him, landlord came by and said she was taking everyone's. Not sure what that was all about, but I don't think anybody has one anymore. Do you want her number? Spoiler alert, he did not. Subscribe, hit the like button, and have a nice day.